What's up, everybody? My name is Jacob Hardison, and today we are going to continue our RC newbie series, and we're going to show you how to replace your C-hub and steering block. Let's get straight into it. Before we get started, let's go over some materials we're going to want to have on hand. I like to have a drill and hand driver, a .050, an assortment of nut drivers and hex bits, a pair of pliers, our replacement parts, and then a vehicle that will need a part replacement. All of these can be found at adrenalinrcracing.com. Now that we know what materials we need, let's go ahead and get started with our repair. Now, this tutorial is going to work for both Arrma vehicles and Traxxas vehicles in their 1/10 4x4 lineup, and I'll go ahead and show pop-ups on screen that will show you the Traxxas end of things, but it's going to be exceptionally similar to what we do right here. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just isolate this entire unit. So we're going to go ahead, I'm going to take my drill, I'm going to take out 3 screws. We're going to take out our camber link screw, turnbuckle screw, and then we will remove our hinge pin. And again, I'll show close-ups of these of both this vehicle and the Traxxas vehicle, that way you have a better point of view. So let's go ahead and get this taken off. All right, now we have those 3 screws out. In this case, I'm going to take my .050, I'm going to push from the front, I'm going to push my outer hinge pin out of the arm. On the Traxxas vehicle, this entire piece will get pulled out when you loosen that screw on the back, as it's an entire one unit. Now that our hinge pin is out, we can set that down, and we now have our entire steering block and knuckle assembly right here. So the first thing I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to take out this set screw on the hex. That'll slide our hex off. In the case of the Traxxas vehicle, this is just going to require a flat head of some sort, and you're just going to pry it off. Now that our hex is off, we can slide our axle out, and now we are left with just our steering block and C-hub. So we'll go ahead, push our secondary bearing out, and from here, if both pieces aren't broken, you're just going to replace one or the other, but you will still need to take out your top screw here and your bottom screw. And again, this is going to be the exact same thing on the Traxxas vehicle. And there you have it, 2 separate pieces. Now, the only thing that will be slightly different from this to the Traxxas is that this is going to use just a standard screw, whereas the Traxxas will use a more capped style screw that actually has a bushing already mounted on it. The other thing is you're going to notice that because of what I just said, these screws don't have bushings. The bushings are going to be inside the actual C-hub itself. So you're going to want to make sure that those don't fall out, and if they do, definitely slide them back in. From here though, now we are all disassembled. It is just a reversal of what we did to begin with, and we will go ahead and get everything reinstalled back on the car. One heads up I will give you while I still have this in 2 pieces. Well, not 2 pieces, but a separate piece from the main truck, is that tighten these screws down to where they get tight, but you don't want to over tighten them because you don't want to put stress on that bushing and then make it to where this can't operate freely. Other than that, we should be able to just throw everything back together now. And there you have it, a replaced steering block and C-hub. I hope this has been helpful for you guys that both have the Traxxas or Arrma vehicles, and we look forward to seeing you next week for an all-new installment of the RC Newbie series.